So we will now take a look at how select and text area are used in React and how they can be handled there. First, the example, our form. So in the form on submit, I made a few changes. We have this select here, and then we have this text area. So it's about favorite color. There is a list of 3 colors, red, green, and blue. And you can specify below why you chose this color as your favorite color. And then it will be written here at the bottom in output. This color, because, and then the reason. Yes, it's that simple, and it almost works exactly the same as before with input. In this on submit, we can just take fav color, which is the name of the select here, and the text area is named y. So here in the on submit, we can set name to e.target.favcolor.value plus, and then because, and then e.target.y.value. And this results in what you see here in the browser. So I have chosen red and entered I like it, and then we get this output. So if we want to process the values directly, we can of course use onChange here. Then maybe we can check the value here, validate it, or do something else with it. So e.target.value is the value that is selected here, and we can check if this is maybe green. And then here we can simply make another output and put a comment there. So we use another state named comment and set comment, of course, the setter. Initial value is empty. And then we can do in the onChange handler something like if color is green, then we make a comment about it. That green, for example, is a good color. So we set comment here to green is a good color, but only if the value is green, of course. So, and then we can do the same for red and put another comment here. Red is very nice too. Let's try it. Let's set it to green. Green is a good color. And set it to red. Red is very nice too. And blue we haven't handled here. So let's do one more if for the blue. And blue, I like blue too. Okay, so depending on what is selected here, green, blue, or red, a comment is set and will be written down below. So no surprise here, just bind onChange with the select here using the function and can simply access the value with e.target.value that is selected there. And down here in the text area, we can of course do the same. You can also use onChange here and then take the event.target.value. And if the length of this string here is less than 10, we say, please write a bit more. Please enter at least 10 characters. Or I mistyped onChange. So reload, and then let's put in more than 10. And then we can see we have to set the comment here in the else case also. So good explanation if it's above 10 characters. So you could also, of course, connect it to an AI, for example, to OpenAI, ChatGPT, whatever. And the AI can check if this is a good description or a good justification for your favorite color. But for now, we'll leave it at this. And you see how it works almost exactly like with input. So there isn't much difference here. And one more thing, that is like with the normal input. So if we have, for example, a checkbox, we can quickly do that. We'll just make a checkbox without a label here. We'll name it agree. And this is required. So then we can simply do an onChange handler here. So we simply say here when this is checked, then you agreed is set in the comment. And if not, you must agree. So it's also here e.target.checked, which must be checked here for the checked state, of course, and not value. So this is almost exactly the same as in normal HTML. So there are a few differences in React. So for example, you cannot use class here, but you have to use class name. And then you can just as usual write your CSS. We have this app.css here, so we can write something here for the checkbox. So dot checkbox, for example, Let's write width 100 pixels and also height the same. Then we should see a difference. Yes, it's very big now. So this is of course a general React thing, JSX, that you cannot use class, but you have to use class name. Okay, that was a very brief overview of input elements and forms in React. So basically not much difference compared to HTML, a few minor differences. As I said, there are probably more, but for now, rough overview will suffice. Basically, you can do everything pretty much the same as in HTML. And of course, you must pay attention, as I already mentioned, to decide whether you want to make an input or a select controlled or uncontrolled. This is the same for select and text area as well. So if you set a value here, it is important not to leave it undefined or to change it from undefined to defined when you handle onChange and set the state. So you can decide if you set value to undefined, then you have an uncontrolled select here. And if you set the value to something else, it is a controlled select here. So now this should be no problem. Or you can also, of course, remove the value prop here completely. So if you take a state here and predefine it with undefined, then set these variables here. And then initially it is set to undefined, and then it is changed to something else. You get this controlled input, controlled select in this case, and then you switch from uncontrolled to controlled, which gives this warning in React, and you should avoid that. You need to be clear about what you want beforehand. If you want uncontrolled, then that's okay, and leaving it out entirely would be easier. And if you want control, then you need to set value to state and then change the state accordingly on change, and then React is controlling this input, or select in this case. Okay, so that's it for React and forms and form elements, and next we will take care of Alpine.js.